Hello and welcome. I am Ladi Akeredoluale. Tonight, International Committee of the Red Cross unites 8 Nigerian miners seeking refuge in Cameroon with their parents 7 years after they were separated. Southern senators discuss restructuring, and Senate President Bukola Saraki is seeking the unity of Nigeria first before other things. PDP raises alarm over planned parallel convention as party leaders caution against anti-party activities ahead of its December 9 national convention. And Egypt declares 3 days of national mourning following deadly bomb attack in a mosque on the Sinai as President al-Sisi vows to respond with the utmost force.
On business news tonight, Nigeria's central bank governor Godwin Emefiele debunks indulging commercial banks.
And on sports news tonight, Barcelona's Lionel Messi ends months of speculation surrounding his future with a new £500,000 a week deal at Camp Nou.
We begin tonight with the emotional reunion of 8 miners who were displaced by the insurgency in Borno State with their parents after 7 years of separation. The children who had been seeking refuge in Cameroon are back home with their families who are still living at the displaced persons camp in Maiduguri. The reunion was facilitated by the International Committee of the Red Cross working with the affected communities in the region.
The aircraft of the International Committee of the Red Cross arriving Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. The aircraft is not here to give medical aid to displaced persons, but good news to parents of the 8 miners who had been displaced by Boko Haram insurgents and are returning home after spending 7 years as refugees in Cameroon. Their parents had been waiting anxiously to give them a befitting welcome, 6 of them eager to see if indeed their children survived the hardship of living in a strange land. As they stepped out of the airstair, they could not hold back the emotion. I lost contact with my children 7 years ago during the Boko Haram crisis. Their father and grandparents had also been killed. Red Cross helped us find them, and I am so happy today. I last saw my son more than 5 years ago. He was in school when we all dispersed, but with the help of Red Cross, who spoke to us and took our pictures from both sides. When the information we gave matched, they finally arranged this meeting. I am so happy. I could not even sleep last night. The International Committee of the Red Cross has been at the forefront of reuniting displaced children with their families. The task, they say, is still ongoing.
Restoring Family Link is one way that ICRC assists people. So what we do, the families who are missing their loved ones, they come to ICRC. Or we go to where they are, especially in the camps, and we register those who have got restoring family needs. Then we go and look for the family members. When we get them, we find out if the children are ready to come and be reunified with their parents, and also if the parents are also ready to receive the children back.
Red Cross officials say unaccompanied children numbering about 140,000 are found in many IDP camps in Maiduguri, and they are only hopeful that someday they will reunite with their families and get a new life.
To other stories now, the Senate President's message to the advocates of restructuring in Nigeria is that they should make the unity of the country their priority before making a push to restructure it. Senator Bukola Saraki is insisting that Nigeria's unity is the only prerequisite for development, and restructuring can only be meaningful in a unified environment. He was speaking at the Southern Senators Forum retreat holding in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, where Nigeria's unity and restructuring is being discussed. The retreat is an avenue for Southern senators to cross-fertilize ideas on restructuring.
The Southern Senators Forum, holding in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, brings together senators from the southern region to brainstorm on how Nigeria can be restructured properly. It's an issue that has been on the front burner of national debates for months, leaving opinions sharply divided on the subject. In between these divisions, the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, asks the gathering to ensure that Nigeria's unity is well preserved.
Indeed, unity must exist before we can even talk about restructuring or reform. And so, distinguished colleagues, one of my messages to you today as I declare this retreat is, how do we stay together? How do we deliver on the task entrusted in us at this critical time? As I see, the only way for us to see ourselves first and foremost as Nigerians, not as language, not as tribe, religion, or region, or any other consideration out there that serves to deflect our attention from the quest for national unity. We must see ourselves as Nigerians first.
According to the chairman of the forum, Senator Hupuzodimma, the aim of this retreat is to encourage opinions from Nigerians on the importance of achieving a properly structured country. Their host, Ben Ayade, who's a former senator, says the retreat is timely as it attempts to address many concerns.
We in the Southern Senators Forum are using this very unique platform to arrive at the surest and the most peaceful means of achieving national unity on all issues capable of destabilizing our polity. As earlier noted, the clamor for restructuring of our federal structure is on the front burner at the moment. However, the Southern Senators Forum has an equal stake in every national, political, and economic challenge. As legislators, we cannot afford to be indifferent to any national issue.
I believe that as elected officers of this country, you have a responsibility to create a direction and give a focus and create an identity. And that's why I'm happy that the Senate, the National Assembly, whose responsibility lies the duty of the discussion of restructuring. Because you are elected officers that represent the people, you have a responsibility to ensure that this nation remains one.
As members of the 8th National Assembly steer the debate on the way forward for Nigeria, they are keeping hope alive that the Calabar deliberations will positively affect the future of generations to come.
I must also commend you.
In politics, barely 2 weeks to the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, it appears the party may have more hurdles to jump as it races towards its December the 9th National Convention date. That's because the spokesperson of the party's caretaker committee, Mr. Dayo Adeyeye, is raising serious concern over threats by some members of the party to hold a parallel convention. Last week, 2 chairmanship aspirants in the coming convention accused the party leadership of being partial.
The 9th of December 2017. It's no doubt one day that members of the People's Democratic Party are looking forward to eagerly. Many people, including former President Goodluck Jonathan, have described it as a day that will define the fate of the PDP and its quest to clinch power at the central government in 2019. As the day draws closer, some aspirants have voiced their concern and accused the leadership of the party of being partial. Last week, the Director General of the campaign organization of Professor Tunde Adeniran and that of Chief Bode George faulted the formation of a delegate committee.
We have seen lopsidedness in the composition of that committee. A particular state have a lot of people from that state that are members, chairmen of some of these committees. And I think this is not a very good spirit. This is not a very good leadership. I advise the party henceforth to desist from doing that, because nobody have a monopoly of determining issues. I want to reinstate our commitment in supporting the National Theatrical Committee to ensure that there will be transparent convention, nothing short of that. We are committed to that. And if there's any attempt to derail that commitment, then it means we will not stand by the MOU that we have signed.
The spokesperson of the PDP at a press conference on Wednesday clarified the issues, insisting that there is no cause for alarm. At the weekend, the National Publicity Secretary raised his concern over threats by some members of the PDP who are planning a parallel convention.
We had that some elements within the PDP, and I don't want to say beyond that, are planning to organize a parallel convention or to disrupt the convention we are planning. This is totally uncalled for and a complete act of sabotage. Those making such plans cannot be said to be honest members of our party. They are not patriotic, but just out to destroy our party. The National Theatrical Committee has been working very hard to carry all party members and supporters of the party along in all the preparations for the forthcoming national convention.
There are 8 chairmanship aspirants contesting for the #1 seat of the party. Although the PDP is yearning for a rancor-free convention next month, political observers hope the interests of aspirants will not clash with that of the party and plunge it into another round of leadership tussle.
Of course, that one is clear.
Meanwhile, the senator representing Kaduna Central Senatorial District, Shehu Sani, is appealing to Nigerians to always speak up whenever they believe things have gone wrong in the governance structure. The senator believes there is need for value reorientation and restructuring of the nation's structural defects to stamp out corruption in the country. He was speaking during a lecture on the need to restructure Nigeria in Osogbo, the Osun State capital.
You cannot know who is a saint and who is a sinner in a government of change until after the government. We live in a country where you don't know, you will not know how clean or dirty a government is until that government is not in place. But you ask yourself, where were you when all those things were taking place? Where was the civil society? Where was investigative journalism? Where were we, all of us? And I say this, that Nigeria is structurally faulty. We must address our structural defects for us to fully function as a nation.
In part 2, after the break, British High Commissioner in Nigeria calls for immediate action on domestic violence in the wake of rising cases of abuse against women and girls. Please stay on with us.